Taurus. We're clearing the cards, clearing the energy. Taurus, you have a very significant planetary shift. Planet Uranus has just moved into your sign. First time in 84 years. It's going to stay there for the next 7. What does that mean for you? It's going to wake and shake and give you chances to grow like you never thought possible. As a Taurus, you'd be like, please don't. I want my security. I don't want anything to change. However, life is like that. Life is change. And it's going to give you a chance to reinvent yourself and revolutionize your life and discover your identity at a deeper level than you realized. There are going to be some wake up and shake up and upheaval and disappearing acts and things that come and go, and that's just the nature of Uranus. And you might find yourself a little more feisty and rebellious and stubborn than usual. So we're going to pull 3 cards for you now. So this is for your whole month of June. Your first card is 3 of Swords. Second card, King of Wands. Third card, the Death card. Well, that couldn't have been more apropos with what I just said about Uranus. Now, this, the 3 of Swords, yikes, and the Death card, that's... Sorry for that reaction, but I'm an honest reader, and that's what it says. The 3 of Swords is usually more the card that shows up with a death than the Death card, ironically. So what this means isn't necessarily physical loss. It doesn't mean somebody physically dies. Although for some people it certainly could, but it doesn't mean that really. It's usually a sense of grieving, a sense of loss. And it's coming up around a man, the King of Wands. So a dynamic, outgoing, you know, passionate, temperamental, romantic and creative, hot-headed sometimes, risk taker, charming, and usually a little older. And the Death card is like a death and rebirth, a huge change in your life. I would say if some of you were out there and this King of Wands represents a spouse, that there could be a major change in the relationship due to him. And that can be anything. That can be anything from, some of you out there will be like, okay, it's time for me to leave this person, or they're going to leave you. Other times it's going to be somebody in their own life, in their own private life. There's a lot going on, and it's going to impact your life because you're listening to what they're going through. I can't lie, this is sort of a heavy reading. Somebody close to you, someone around you is going through a really difficult time, and you might find some sense of loss around that. Yeah, it's hard to be more specific reading for an entire sign. And yet I don't like to leave things off heavy or negative. But the Death card is always some sort of rebirth. Whatever suddenly feels over or taken away, or there's a shock of how you thought it would go, the Death card always brings something better in its place, better than you thought. So let's just play a worst case scenario for a second, because your brain's probably going there. In the worst case scenario, let's say somebody did pass. The Death card would mean that they pass in a good way, that they're in the light, they're on the other side, they're happy. It's a good passing. Or that some benefit comes in some weird way to them or to you or to people around them. If it's a breakup situation, a separation of some sort, or a loss in the life of a man close to you, he will be very down and upset, but it's actually for the best. There would be another opportunity coming in its place that's better. So if this is a man who's close to you, let's say a husband, maybe a husband who loses someone, or a husband who loses a job, or something like that, the death card means that, yes, he's going to freak, and then something even better is going to come his way. And it's the same for you. If anything that you feel is making you sad, or you feel a loss, there's something better coming in its place. So you could find June a little bit difficult until that something better shows up. But with the death card, I always know that quite quickly something better than you expected comes in it and surprises you and usually amazes you. You'll be amazed that things could work out in that way, better than you could have ever thought yourself. So it's a month of surprises, put it that way. Try not to get too down or too serious about whatever the thing is that's happening, because there'll be a reversal or a turnaround. So if you would like to have a more in-depth reading and go into this and see what it is for you, you can reach me below this video, or you can reach me at river-rain.com, or Clairvoyant Medium Catherine Allen on Facebook. I wish you well this month.